Good morning to my subscribers in the Philippines. Good evening to my subscribers in America and beyond. Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. We're a channel that's geared toward the new man and woman who's never been to the Philippines, who's contemplating making a visit here for vacation, long vacation, slow vacation, or to rejuvenate. Because in my 11 years of being associated with the Philippines, it's one thing I've noticed, that when people come here, they don't come here to retire. They think they're coming here to retire, but they really come here to rejuvenate. And I've seen a lot over my 11 years. Men, they come over here, they're 62, they retire. Next thing you know, they got a baby. Or they're 65, next thing you know, they're eating better, they're working out, and they're looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger. But my 11 years doesn't make me an expert either, and I hope I don't come off as a know-it-all, because if I do, I've missed the mark. It's not what I'm trying to do. I'm really trying to be helpful. I want your trip to be more enjoyable than my trip was. Because I tell you all the time, I didn't read the handbook. I didn't listen to anybody. I just got on the plane and came right over here. And I made every mistake that a foreigner could make in the Philippines. But now those mistakes have become my secrets, and I pass them on to you. So you don't have to make all those mistakes, have all those problems that I experienced. I'm boots on the ground. And I can't stress that enough. I'm right in the middle of all of this. I live around the locals. I'm not on the edges like a lot of these vloggers living in these fancy Airbnbs and condominiums somewhere in Cebu, Manila, looking down on the local, giving you a play-by-play. I don't do that. I'm going to give you the nitty-gritty. And all the nitty-gritty is exactly what I'm seeing, exactly what I'm living, exactly what I'm experiencing. I'm never going to sugarcoat it, okay? Because it's not going to do you any good. So today I want to talk about something that's very important. It's going to save you some time. It may save your trip, especially if you come over here for 2 weeks. And that's the jet lag. It's going to jump on your back like a 1,000-pound gorilla the minute you arrive in the Philippines. So listen up, because I know you're going to be excited. It's your first trip to the Philippines, really to paradise. You got all these grand plans and schemes and everything. But if you don't let all that adrenaline come down first and fight with everything you got in you not to go to sleep right away, you're going to lose 2, 3, 4 days off your trip, because it happened to me. Remember, I always tell you, sometimes at the beginning of my videos, we're 12 hours ahead of the East Coast over here. 15 hours ahead of the West Coast. Now you put that with a 12, 15, 18-hour flight, and you got some severe jet lag. It's not like, the many trips I've made from Chicago to LA. No. Jet lag is enough, but this is severe jet lag. And it's going to kick your behind. But let it kick your behind. Okay, let it kick your behind. Because I'm going to tell you what happened to me. I came over here one time, every time I've come over here, the jet lags kick my butt, but nothing like this particular trip I'm going to tell you. I flew into Manila, and I'm so excited. It's like my second time. Yes, it's my second time back in the Philippines. And oh man, I'm so excited. I'm back in the Philippines, and the adrenaline is high. I've already made reservations. We're going to Tagaytay, and we're going to see the Taal volcano. I guess it's pronounced Taal or Taal volcano and everything. We've got it all planned. So I didn't sleep at all. I'm so excited. So I'm on the bus and I'm headed to Tagaytay, and next thing you know, here comes that 1,000-pound gorilla on my back. And don't you know, this is the honest truth, I don't remember anything about that trip. Only thing I remember about that trip, and I'm going to tell you how screwed up my mind was, I just remember waiting on the bus to go back, and we're standing right in front of this volcano. We're up on the road, and you can look out in the lake, and you see the volcano in the middle. I mean, it's a sight that, I don't care how tired you are, I don't care how sleepy you are. Once you see it, you'll never forget it. Remember on my video, 10 reasons why you should drop everything and come to the Philippines. Number 2 is geography. The Philippines has some of the most magnificent geography on the planet. And this volcano, and just looking at it from the road, from my vantage point, is something that's ingrained in my mind. It'll be there to the day I die. But that's all I remember. I was so sleepy. I don't know if you, I don't drink anymore. I haven't had a drink in 23 years, and that's good. And it's not because I'm some kind of saint. It's just because for personal reasons, man, I can't handle alcohol, so I stopped. But you know when you drinking, you know, I take you back to the service, you get so drunk you go into this blackout and you don't remember. I mean, people see you walking around and talking to people, but you're in a blackout. You don't really remember anything when you wake up the next morning. Well, I was in a sleep blackout. I don't remember anything. It was so bad, I had to reschedule the trip like 2 days later and go back and see Tagaytay and all the sights and sounds. It's a beautiful place. But I see now why the CIA uses that sleep deprivation as a torture tactic, man. I don't know if you've ever felt it before, but when you're so sleepy and there's no bed to lay down in, man, you start hallucinating. This is what's going to happen to you if you don't do this. When you come to the Philippines, I don't care if it's in the daytime or nighttime, you keep your butt around that hotel. Don't make any extravagant plans. Stay there. Try as hard as you can to get on Philippine time, because that's what you're going to try to do. That's the key. It's just like I suggest to you when you get here with your money to convert over to the peso. Well, you're going to have to convert from U.S. time to Philippine time. Don't be calculating that stuff in your mind, because it's going to drive you crazy. You're not going to get any sleep. You're going to lose 2, 3, 4 days off your trip. And that's a lot, especially if you're only here for 2 weeks. Don't be saying, oh, it's 6 p.m. in the Philippines, so that means it's 6 a.m. in America where I'm from. That's why I'm tired. No, you be getting ready to get your butt in the bed at that 6 p.m., somewhere around 8 p.m., so that each day you're going to see yourself going to bed a little bit later, sleeping a little bit later, until finally you're going to wake up. You're going to be fully refreshed. You're going to be rejuvenated. And you're going to be on Philippine time. But if you don't do that, like I did, see, I lost almost a week on that trip. I lost almost a week on that trip, and I don't want you to do it. And it takes me back to my very first trip here to the Philippines when I met this gentleman from Austria. He told me, he said, you know, he asked me where I was from. I told him, and he said, you know, how long you going to be here? I said, 2 weeks. He said, don't ever come here for 2 weeks. He said, the least time I come here is for 6 weeks, because it takes my body so long to get adjusted. He said, by the time I'm adjusted, 2 weeks is up. And I thought it was kind of extreme, but he really hit it on the nose. But I know that a lot of us can't afford to take 6 weeks off. Okay, so if you're only here for 2 weeks, man, please let that adrenaline settle down. Stay around your hotel. You know, it's going to be some things that you're going to be able to see. But, you know, for the first couple of days, don't make any extravagant grand plans. And try to catch up on this Philippine time, or else that 1,000-pound gorilla is going to kick your butt. And I'm going to talk a little bit on this one thing. And I don't know if it has something to do with the jet lag, the airplane food, or time difference. But when I get here in the Philippines, and I've made 24 round trips, guys, over my 11 years. I'm constipated when I get here. And if you experience that, man, put in the comments. We're trying to help the new man and woman. I don't know if it's just me or if it's everybody. You know, am I the exception or am I the rule? But when I get here, I'm constipated. And sometimes I don't use the bathroom, man, for, 2 or 3 days. And 2 or 3 days will go by before it'll hit my mind, like, man, I haven't used the bathroom, and then I'll go and I'll take a laxative, and get back to normal, what they call regular. But that's one of the things that happens to me when I come over here. And I've been trying to, find out what it is. I don't know if it's, like I said, the airplane food or the fact that I don't use the bathroom on the airplane. I'll do number one, but number two I won't do. I guess because I'm holding it. Maybe that's the reason why. But if anybody else has experienced that constipation, man, put in the comments, let us know, because it's something I just I'm going to say it to you, because if you experience it, then you'll say, okay, Calvin, he said something about that. He warned me about that. So what I want you to do, even if you don't get constipated, here's what I want you to do when you first get to the Philippines. This is just a suggestion. You don't have to do it. You may want to check with your doctor or get an over-the-counter laxative, but take a laxative. And that's going to go along with, remember I told you, don't go far from your hotel for the first couple of days when you get here. I know you're going to be excited, but all that stuff's not going to go anywhere. It's going to be waiting for you. And your trip's going to be more enjoyable if you're rested, if you're regular, and if you're rejuvenated. Because if you don't do that stuff, you're going to be walking around like a zombie for about a week. And when you finally wake up, the clock's ticking. It's time for you to go back home. And you know what? You're going to cry at the airport. And you're going to cry just like everybody else cries when they go to the airport when they leave the Philippines. Because the Philippines grabs hold of you like no other place. And I thought it was just me. I used to be, when I was on Facebook, I'm not on Facebook anymore. I haven't been on there for several years. I just don't know how to do Facebook really. But my Sunshine Shoulders Facebook page is there. I created that through my son's Facebook. But anyway, I was a member of a group of guys, on Facebook, and who were going back and forth to the Philippines. And every last one of them said this, that when it was time for them to leave and they were in the airport to go back home, depression kicked in. Some of them cried like me, some of them didn't. But every time I've ever left the Philippines, I wanted to cry. I felt like crying. And if it was like the roles were reversed, it was as if I was leaving home to go abroad instead of leaving abroad to go back home. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm still here, because I dread the day. Even if I just go home to see my kids and my grandkids, man, I hate to go to that airport and leave the Philippines, because I tell you, this is a special place. So thank you so much. I just wanted to kind of run that by you, because this jet lag is severe. It's a 1,000-pound gorilla. It's going to jump on your back as soon as you get here. I don't want you to say Calvin didn't warn me, or he didn't talk about that, because I should have talked about it a long time ago. I appreciate you stopping by. I really do. My little channel's growing. I'm inching closer to that 1,000 subscriber mark. I'm at 918, and I want to thank y'all, really, because if it wasn't for y'all subscribing and watching my videos, it wouldn't happen. I don't have all the fancy equipment, the drones and all of that. My channel's never going to be that. And if that's what you're looking for, go ahead and look at that and then come back here. I'm just something different. YouTube is full of choices. That's one thing I like about YouTube. So you got a lot of choices, but my channel's never going to be that. I'm never going to give you a 15-minute selfie or 30-minute selfie. Now, we'll share with you some of my experiences when I'm able to travel. But if you want to see some of the places I've been, I've got a video. It's called The Philippines from Top to Bottom. It's a few of the places that I visited. You can go and watch, but what I have to give is my experience, my boots on the ground experience, my 11 years of living here. That's going to help you tremendously. Now remember, it's evening in America. It's not too late to help somebody. Before your head hits the pillow tonight, please help somebody. If you're roaming around on one of those late night grocery runs and you see somebody out in the street, buy them something to eat. Buy them something to drink. Give them a couple of dollars. And right now in the Philippines, it's about 8:30 a.m. We got all day to find somebody to help. It's very important we help people, because when we help other people, we help ourselves. Thank you so much for your love, for your support. I'll see you next time.